Well, hello, ladies, boys, and girls of all ages. Spank the Monkey back again with another video of singles Bojingles. All right, so we just had the most recent set drop. It was the lovely Secrets of Strixhaven. And yeah, I was able to open a bunch of product, one collector booster and a play booster. If you guys haven't caught those videos yet, please do so. I picked up some pretty good cards there. Not to brag, but anyway, just to add to that unboxing, I have actually gone and purchased a couple of singles as well to augment my collection and also for my decks. So allow me to just try to pry it out from this packaging here so that we can enjoy the full flavor of Secrets of Strixhaven, SOS. Okay, so as usual, there would be some chaff front and back. I think that'll be about 3. Let me just look at this very quickly. Yeah, okay. So let's just remove the chaff here and we can go through them in order. So we just got forests and some tokens here coming from the new set. Let's just put that off camera and let's get right to it. So let's get to the first one. It is a Molten Core Maestro. This is actually a pretty good card. It's 2 to cast 2 Goblin Bard with Minache and has Opus. So whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. If 5 or more mana was spent to cast a spell, add amount of red equal to this creature's power. So good for spell slinging, nice large spells, and you can generate more mana. When you have 5 more. So this is pretty good. I do like this card. So I think I got, was it 1 or 2 copies of it? Yeah, 2 copies of it. Perfect. Okay, so I'll put that over here for a nice rare. Coming up is Choreographed Sparks. So this is 2 red pips. It's an instant and can't be copied. So you choose one or both. Copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. And copy target creature spell you control. That copy gains haste, and at the beginning of the next end step, sacrifice this token. So pretty good in terms of doubling up your spells, whether it's a creature, instant, or sorcery. You can get this copied. So pretty nice. Not sure if I'm going to use this in any of my decks yet, but I'll think about it. I do have a Calamax deck, which is meant to be a spell slinging deck, but unfortunately I've zombified that precon into a deck that I can't even recognize anymore, so probably revive it one of these days, but let's see. Okay, Choreographed Sparks. Oh, okay, I got 2 copies of that as well. One for play and one for the collection. Next up, we have a Resonating Lute. So I think this is one of the more interesting cards in Secrets of Strixhaven, given that this is a but the effects here are quite different. So lands you control have tap, add 2 mana of any 1 color, spend this mana only to cast instant and sorcery spells, and tap, draw a card, activate only if you have 7 or more cards in your hand. Pretty good, I think. This is quite interesting design for Okay. Next up, we have Coercive Impetus. So this is a 3 to cast aura, where enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and is goaded. So that we've seen before. But the other thing is here is when enchanted creature attacks, you draw a card and lose 1 life. So it's like a Phyrexian Arena sort of effect. So yeah, that would be nice to have. Okay, let me put this away. Oh, I got 2 copies of that apparently. Okay, next up we have Firemane Commando. So this is a card from the Commander Precon, but this is already existing. And I think this is a pretty solid card, to be honest. So this is a 4 to cast Angel Soldier with flying, and whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, you draw a card. So in Commander, you're going to be attacking with a lot of creatures. And whenever another player attacks with 2 or more creatures, they draw a card if none of those creatures attacked you. So it incentivizes your opponents to sort of attack each other, not you, just so that they draw a card. So pretty good pickup here. So I picked up 2 copies of that. Okay, now we're going to the first mythic. It is 001, Dina Essence Brewer. I do have a Witherbloom deck. Well, actually, it's from the Precon. from the previous Strixhaven set, which it was Witherbloom, but I switched out the lead singer to Dina. But I know that there's a new Witherbloom deck with Dina now as the commander, but I decided to just get her. I won't purchase anymore the precon, and I'll use this for my other precon. Anyway, so what does this Dina version do? So it's 3 to cast Golgari or Witherbloom in this case. 2/3, whenever you sacrifice a creature, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. That's fine. But you can pay 2 taps, sacrifice another creature. You gain X life and put X/1/1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the sacrificed creature's power. So you're able to transfer counters by you're able to add counters based on the sacrificed creature power, right? So nice. Okay, so this goes to my collection, and then I'll put that over here. Next up, we have a Planar Engineering. So this is a 4 to cast sorcery. Sacrifice 2 lands, search your library for 4 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. So this is great for landfall decks, and especially if you have recursion, it's like a win-win, right? So this is pretty good, I think. Good ramp for my landfall deck, which I do have, by the way. Okay, next up we have a Forensic Gadgeteer. So I just picked this up as one of the sort of random cards from the seller that I had purchased the cards from. So this is coming from Murders of Karlov Manor, that came out last year, I think. Yeah, last year. So this is a Vidalcan Artificer Detective, 3 to cast, 2/3. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you investigate and activate abilities of artifacts you control. Cost 1 less to activate. This effect can reduce the mana in that cost to less than 1 mana. So I just wanted to get this. I do have this card already, but I want to get this one. It's a foil showcase. So it's a small investment. It was at a cheap price. And hopefully this goes up soon, given that, for blue, drawing cards and reducing mana cost on the activated abilities might actually be something. Okay, so that's a nice rare. I'll put that over here. I'll put the... Sorry, let me move this pile over here and just make a little bit of space. I'll put the rare foil over there. Okay, and then mythic. And so I'll put the rare over here. Okay, next up we have a Prismari, the Inspiration. So this is one of the 5 Elder Dragons from the SOS set. So what does this do? It's 7 to cast, Elder Dragon, 7/7, flying, ward, pay 5 life. And it says instant and sorcery spells you cast have Storm. I can't really say if this would be a strong commander in my mind, because apart from Storm, it doesn't really do anything. So it's quite open-ended. But I think this would be great in the 99, especially if I have a Spell Slinger deck where I'll be casting a lot of spells. So certainly for me, this is something I would put in 99, not necessarily make it the lead singer. But again, just adding this to the collection, that's going to be pretty cool. Okay, give me a second here. I just noticed the lighting here is quite harsh on Dina. Okay. So, oops, sorry. Okay, there we go. So let me put that away. Next up, we have another rare. It is, another mythic. It is Quandrix the Proof. So it's another Elder Dragon. This is a 6 to cast, legendary Elder Dragon, 6/6 with flying and trample and cascade, and says instant and sorcery spells you cast from your hand have cascade. So I think for me, this might be a little better than Prismari, the Inspiration, because not only will you gain value from the time that you cast it as a 6/6 with fly and trample, which is a little expensive, but not bad on the curve. You're able to cascade right away when you cast it, and then after that, instant and sorcery spells you cast from your hand have cascade. Unfortunately, you can't chain them, right? Whatever you cascade is actually exiled, so you can't recascade by casting the thing that you cascaded first. But yeah, good for the collection, and I think this might be a a little better, and would consider this as commander. Okay, then we have Grave Researcher. So I think this is one of those sleeper cards in the set. So take a look at this, right? It's a 3 to cast Troll Warlock for 3/3, decent. So at the beginning of your upkeep, you surveil one. Surveil is quite a good mechanic. And then again, let me just fix the lighting situation there. Okay, so maybe this might be better. Okay. And it says, then if there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, this creature becomes prepared. And the prepared spell here is Reanimate. So as long as you have this creature and as long as you're prepared, you can always reanimate stuff, right? And bring them back to the battlefield. Of course, you know, you lose life, but then again, you're in black. Losing life is fine, right? You can get lifelink, you can get it somewhere else. And yeah, you're meant to lose life in black. So this is actually quite a very good card, and is quite powerful, to be honest, where you're attaching a reanimate on a creature, which you can cast multiple times, and the prepared requirement here is actually not very difficult, especially once you have a graveyard going. So this is pretty nice. I got 2 copies of that. Okay, next up we have a Turbulent Moor. Oh wait, hold on. We do have one more card. Sorry, I skipped over it. It is Professor Delian Fell. Unfortunately, I didn't get this when I opened my product last weekend, but I think this might be a solid, understated card, but still quite interesting. For the cast, Planeswalker. So you +2 it, you gain 3 life. You pay nothing, you draw a card and lose 1 life. -3, you destroy a target creature, and -6, you can get an emblem with whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. So it's like what is this? Sanguine Bond mechanic? Is that right? Is it Sanguine Bond? Which you can get on the second turn, right? Once this comes in. So quite easy to get. Could be a good distraction for your opponents to, you know, waste their turn to try and bring this down, to avoid the ultimate here. But this has the ability to destroy a target creature, and you can draw cards with thing. Then you also gain life, which is cool, right? Which, if you have your ultimate, then you gain life, then you have an opponent lose life. Pretty nice. Okay, and then what I did was to end the unboxing. I actually got a cycle, a set for the cycle, Turbulent lands. So Turbulent Moor, Turbulent Fen, Turbulent Springs, Turbulent Steppe, and a Turbulent Wilderness. So that is pretty cool. This is an interesting land cycle, and basically it's a free dual land, you know, on turn 3. Plus the fact that, you know, it has the what do you call this, the land keyword here, plain, swamp, and so forth. So you can tutor these guys up as well. So very, very useful card. Okay, so just to recap, I think here we were able to get 2 legendary Elder Dragons for the collection. I actually was able to pick up the other 3 in the other product. I got the Dina, the lead singer for the Precon Commander, which I will add to my deck, and then Mythic in the Professor Delian Fell as a Planeswalker. Then multiple copies or 2 copies of a couple of these value cards, including a Resonating Loot, and Grave Researcher, Forensic Gadgeteer, and Planar Engineering to top it off. So I hope you guys like this unboxing, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.